I'm Just a Little Toxic Podcast, a special Meet the Candidates edition. I'm your host, Callie Cole, and we're back. And before we even get started, make sure you guys go to letswinnowtoday.com if you want to support. That's letswinnowtoday.com. Now, right here with me, candidate for school board president, Mrs. Ty Whitley. How you doing?
Whiteley.
Whiteley. I said it again. Whiteley. Let me get it right. See?
I'm great.
Whiteley.
How are you?
I'm doing good. We are already having a little conversation rolling, so I'm already excited. First, the people want to know what qualifies you to run for school board president or to be the school board president.
So first and foremost, I was born and raised here in Savannah, Georgia. I am a product of our school system, so I have greatly benefited from my education here. I am a classically trained clarinetist. I was a honor roll student in elementary school. I learned Spanish, French, and Japanese. So I greatly benefited from the opportunities here. And so I want to expand those opportunities for students here. I believe in the students in Chatham County. I think we have the best and brightest here. And I believe if we give them the tools to be successful, that they can go on to be whatever they wish. So I've been working on the ground level for about a decade, volunteering in the schools. And I've built those relationships on the ground level with teachers, administrators, parents. Let's bring that knowledge and that experience to the board because we set policy. We pass the budget. We hold the superintendent accountable. It is important that we have someone who believes in our schools, acknowledges that we do have problems, we do have issues, but have a positive outlook on how we can solve those issues.
Well, you know, you saying we do have problems, we do have issues. Of course, you're running in Savannah Chatham schools. Mrs. Whiteley, what are some policies and initiatives you actually want to bring to help out our school system?
All of my policies that I want to enact, they center around support. Who do we need to support? Our staff. Without teachers, without nutritionists, without psychiatrists, without principals, who's going to run our schools? Who's going to teach our kids? So policies that recruit, maintain, support our staff. I want policies that promote proactive communication with the community, bringing teachers and staff in so that they can give us their perspective and we can change things on that level. Policies that promote the best in our children, and I am against any policy that harms children or anyone in this district.
Wow, I agree with you there. We were having a conversation earlier and we were talking about testing in schools, and it makes me just think about my daughter. She's in school in Georgia, and we're like, she's going after school stuff for testing. They're setting aside a whole week just for the kids to prepare for testing and pass these tests for whatever reasons. How do you feel about testing in Georgia schools or in Savannah Chatham specifically?
Right, I think we have one test too many, first and foremost. Testing is a tool, right, in the toolbox that we use to evaluate children, to assess them, to see where we need to work with them, how they are learning across the board in regards to their peers in the state. But testing should not be the be-all, end-all to our kids in their education. We need to diversify testing because we have a diverse body of students. For instance, we have a child, our own child, she does not test well. She took a test in Chatham County schools. It told us one result. We took her somewhere else to a learning center, and she took a national test, and it told us what we already knew about her, which is she was reading a grade and a half above her grade level. We need to give students those options, and we need to make sure that we have tests that reflect a diverse way of analyzing our students or testing them. So I think we need to dial it back a little bit because we do have testing in the beginning of the school year, middle, end. Really, the last 3 weeks of school, you know, or last month really is geared toward testing. I think we need to talk to our teachers and see how we can modify that testing schedule so that we can get the best results for our kids.
Wow. I'm hearing a concerned candidate, but I'm also hearing the parenting in there too.
Yes.
I like that. You need that. What other? But you know, school board and being a school board president is not just policy; it's also budgets.
Yes.
So, what are some things that you have experience that you have in actually being on boards and handling budgets?
Right. So I have been president of the PTA, president of the school council, and I have been a treasurer for a small budget PTA and a large budget PTA. I also am a small business owner, so I deal with our budget every day. I've opened a early education center back in 2017. I helped to turn that into a very successful very successful business with a large budget. So not only have I created budgets, but I have dealt with how we move those funds around so that we can meet goals. I have projected, the use of funds from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. And I have been accountable for those funds as well. So divvying the funds out, making sure that I'm following regulations and policies concerning those funds, and raising money for the right causes. So we have a big budget. We need to make sure those dollars are going to the places they need to go. Where do they need to go? Programs that support our kids, wraparound services. So we need more psychiatrists, more social workers, things that are going to support our parents, things that are going to support our staff, relationships with our businesses and our communities. We need to make sure that those dollars are going there so that we can build a well-rounded school system, because it takes a village, right? To raise children. And so our budget and how we spend those funds need to reflect that.
Wow. I really enjoyed this interview, Mrs. Whiteley, excuse me. But I want to say, as a parent, just hearing the certain things and the concerns you have, I mean, that's what we're thinking about every day, and people want somebody to connect like that. So it's very important that you have those parent binoculars on when you're talking to parents. I like that, Mrs. Whiteley. Just heading into the election, heading into it, what's the biggest challenge you believe we're facing in Savannah Chatham schools? Like, what's the first thing, if you get in office, what's the first thing you want to tackle?
By far, it is staffing. So teachers are leaving, not just in Chatham County, but around the nation. They are leaving in droves. Who is going to educate our kids? I've said this before, the pandemic has showed me that I do not want to educate my own children, that I need support. And I always tell my children's teachers, help me, help you, help my child. I'm going to do that on the board level as well. Help me, help you, help our children, because we have about 38,000 of them. So if we support our staff, if we make sure that they have the services that they need, mental health services, breaks, planning time, things so that they can take a breather and actually do their job. Parapros in pre-K through 4th grade. That allows us to support our teachers and our staff in a way so that they don't feel burdened, and maybe that they don't feel as stressed out, and listening to them. Our staff will tell you exactly what they need. And they have, in the past, may have told someone what they need, but it wasn't delivered. We need to deliver on those things. So if we can get our staffing under control, then we can make sure that we have those teachers and other staff to teach our children and support our school system. Without them, we don't have the school system. Wow,
awesome. I appreciate you for doing the interview. There you have it, Ty Whiteley for School Board President in Savannah Chatham Schools. Let the people know where they can get a hold of you.
Yes, so I want to make it very clear to the public that the primary is my election. So May 24th, one and done, elect Ty Whiteley. This is not my primary, so one and done on May 24th. Early voting's already started. Go ahead and vote. But you can reach me at Facebook at votefortywhiteley.com. At Vote for Ty Whiteley, I'm sorry. My website, www.vote4tye.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Vote for Ty Whiteley.
Awesome. I appreciate you so much. Hey, I'm Just a Little Toxic Podcast. We have more coming up. And that was my conversation with Ty Whiteley, for School Board President.
Thank you so much.